friends. This is Greg Coles. I am the Contemporary Worship Coordinator here at the State College Alliance Church. I don't know what you've been doing to keep yourself occupied during this COVID season, but I've been doing a lot of cooking. And yesterday I had a particularly productive cooking day. I made split pea soup and whole wheat bread and granola. Now, I don't know if you've made a lot of any of those three dishes, but let me let you into a little culinary secret about them all. They all require a bit of patience and a bit of time to make really well. In the case of split pea soup, you've got to boil the ham hock in the water for a nice long amount of time to get a good ham broth. And then once you add the split peas, you've got to let it simmer for another couple of hours so that the split peas can really break apart into that wonderful mushy pea goodness. In the case of whole wheat bread, you need time to knead the bread, and then you need to give it time for a nice long slow rise so that you can get height and a good developed flavor. And in the case of granola, you've got to bake it at a low enough temperature that you can get it all dried through without burning any part of it. Now, the temptation with all three of these recipes, if you're in a rush, is to try to find some corner that you can cut so that you can get the final product without the patience and without the waiting. But the trouble is, in the case of split pea soup, if you rush it, you can end up with mealy split peas that make for a very unpleasant soup experience. And if you try to rush whole wheat bread, you can either end up with a flat loaf that hasn't risen very well, or you can end up with a loaf that rose but doesn't have a good developed flavor, and so it's just kind of bland and weird. And in the case of granola, if you turn up the temperature too high because you're trying to rush it, you can end up burning parts of it while having other parts still be sort of damp. And I think a similar dynamic can be true in our spiritual lives, that often we're looking for the quick fix or the switch that can be flipped so that all our problems can go away all at once. But the reality is that following Jesus often requires our patience and it requires our time. One of my favorite books of the Bible is the book of Philippians. And in Philippians 2:12, Paul tells the people of Philippi, "Continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling." Some translations just say, "Work out your salvation with fear and trembling." But let me let you into a little secret about the Greek here. The Greek word katergazeste, which is the word being translated work out, is a present tense verb. And in Greek, the present tense has what's called a continuous aspect. And this means it's not something that happens once and then is over with, but it's something that keeps on happening. So it's not just work out your salvation. Good, you're done, congratulations. But it is instead be working out your salvation, carry on working out your salvation over the course of time, over the long, slow process. Because friends, you and me, like split pea soup and whole wheat bread and granola, it takes a little bit of time for us to get this following Jesus thing right. So my hope for you in this COVID season is that you would seize the opportunity to slow down with Jesus, to keep working out your salvation with fear and trembling, and that you would find that in the end, the results are as delicious and as wonderful as the foods that I am about to go and eat. Have a great week.